Welcome back to Liquid Lunch. Yeah, we're seeing the 9-shot, which is what we officially want. Okay, now we officially want the 1-shot. Perfect. Hey, what was that, Ken? Do you know what that music was? We want to plug that.
It's Kensington.
Kensington Prairie.
Kensington Prairie.
Yeah, beautiful. Done live here, I think, or maybe not, but they were here. Yeah, so we've got Brian Gladstone here now. He's brought his guitar, and Brian is the founder of Winterfolk. And
Winterfolk Festival, yes.
yeah, so great to have you here, Brian. Great to meet you, although I probably met you before, back when I was...
I think we just figured that out.
Yeah.
20
something like that.
years ago, yeah. In another life.
Yeah, a whole other life. So anyway, great to have you here.
Glad to be here.
And so tell us about Winterfolk and how you came to found that festival.
Well, how I came to found it, I founded it for the wrong reasons.
Oh, you were trying to get rich?
No, no. I actually was an artist, and I had about 200 festival rejections. And there's literally thousands of artists applying for 50, 100 festival spots. And I was at a festival audition up in Aurelio at the Mariposa Festival, and I got rejected. And I said, "That's it. If I want to play a festival, I have to make a festival." It was like a knee-jerk reaction, and I walked around the room of artists, started hiring people for this fictitious event, and about 2 weeks later, I did a reality check and said, "What did I get myself into? What have I done?" But that was the impetus and the momentum that it started. It started for on a knee-jerk, spontaneous reaction. But we're going into our 8th year now. So.
Wow. Is it still as much fun as it was at the beginning?
It's actually more fun because I'm not only the founder, but I'm also the festival director. And right now I'm sort of working with 100 artists, and it's a 24/7 operation, and it just keeps me going nonstop. But I'm very fueled by all this creative energy, coming in from the artists. So it's sort of it's like a perpetual motion machine. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of fun, but I'm just fed so much creative energy and help from the artistic community that it sort of it propels itself.
Okay.
Where is the festival held?
Yeah.
We have 6 stages in several venues on the Danforth and the Broadview, and it'll be the Black Swan Tavern. We've got 2 stages there. The Mambo Lounge, Dorokia's, and the Willow Restaurant. We have 2 stages there. And we didn't start at that location, but I think it's probably our 5th or 6th year we've been on the Danforth.
And so that's great. So people can just deal with the one subway stop. They don't have to go all over town.
That's right. We tried to sort of emulate the scenario of a summer festival where, like if you go to some of the larger, folk festivals out of town, you walk in the main gates and you've got 5 or 6 stages to choose from, and they're all going simultaneously, and you have a program and say, okay, I want to see this guy at 5 and this guy at 6. Well, there's literally 10,000 people will be walking around the Danforth with our schedule in hand and walking from club to club, seeing various artists.
That's amazing. Some of the best things get started just in the manner that you described, which is not thinking about them too much.
Yeah, thinking always gets in the way.
It gets us into trouble, doesn't it?
I try never to think.
And half of the things wouldn't ever be started up if there was too much thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Beforehand.
Thinking gets in the way
Yeah.
of decision making, for sure.
Yeah.
That's my personal philosophy.
Yes.
So how can we do less thinking, Brian? How can we improve our lives?
You just react. Just
respond?
just follow where life leads. It's hard to do, but if you can do that, I think you have a better
Now,
life.
actually, just before we came on,
I know.
you mentioned that you were one of those hippies, those crazy hippies
Not
with all their...
it's a lifestyle,
Right.
It's a way of being.
And now,
Yeah,
but,
it's a mentality.
but could we talk about that just for a little
Sure.
bit? Because actually, folk kind of comes out of that whole thing too. Were you around in the folk hippie days
Yep.
in Yorkville?
Yep.
What was it? The Yellow Door and all that kind of stuff.
I think the Yellow Door's in Montreal.
Oh, okay.
I remember that. Well,
Whatever it was.
I grew up in the 60s. I think it was really the best time in the history of the planet to grow up. And at that point in time, I don't use the word folk music, I call it roots music, but that was mainstream music. You know, people wrote about things that mattered, you know, and if you think about it, that generation of music actually did some pretty profound things. I mean, you know, we stopped a war with that music. We tore down a wall. You know, people wrote about things that mattered in their life that made a difference in the world. And that's one of the reasons I'm so caught up in the roots movement, is because I don't see that now. And I've seen the power of music. I've seen what it can do to our culture. You know, the Berlin Wall, you know, I'm sure that the rock and roll and the youth culture, people on the other side, you know, wanted blue jeans, you know, and I think that, you know, all this underground culture has such a significant role and place in our society. And we're talking about change, but that's, you know.
Yeah. Do you think still, though? Because, I mean, we're talking about, you just mentioned, you know, it's not in the music or not in the culture anymore.
I don't hear it as much, you know. I'm really not involved in what they call mainstream music today. I don't really get it, but that's fine. I'm sure it's great music, and those people who like it, you know, whatever they get from it. But I don't hear a lot of people writing, you know, songs about things that they want to change, or, you know, social justice, or, you know, there's a lot of things not right with. There's a lot of things very right, but there's a lot of things not right, and I always think it's the role of the artists. That's what we do. We have a voice, we have a stage, we have an audience, you know, and we're sensitive and we're empathetic. Is that the right word? Empathic.
Empathic.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we have sort of an obligation and a privilege to talk about those things and to write about those things, and hopefully our voices will be heard.
Well, they'll I guess some of those voices will be heard during the Winterfolk Festival this year.
Yep.
And you brought your guitar here,
I
and
did.
I'm just wondering if you can maybe give us something right now. How many songs could you do for us today? Or how many are you?
30, 40,
Good.
50? How many songs?
Okay, well, we probably won't have that. We don't have that much time.
Brian, is this a
Brian.
song, you're a songwriter as well?
Yeah,
A
I only know
singer-songwriter?
songs I write. I don't really know any
okay.
cover songs. So I only write.
Well,
my
that's
own.
great. Even better. We'd love
Yeah,
to hear one.
excellent.
This song is called "For a Day in the Park," and it came from a lot of different places, but just written on a really lovely sunny May day a couple years ago when I was home, supposed to be doing some work, and I should have been out with my friends in the park. And I was doing my work, but my brain was elsewhere. I went planning ahead a week or two for you. Then on Sunday morning, I catch at the dawning. We'd drive for a while with a picnic lunch for two. For a day in the park with you, my dear. We could find our favorite spot high on a hill. I'll sing to you a ballad as you eat potato salad. For a day in the park, for a day in the park with you, my dear. We could find out to a tree, swim in the Don River, or digesting our chopped liver as army ants do swan dives in our tea. For a day in the park with you, my dear. I would love you till the end of time, you see. Take a nap while holding hands on a blanket filled with sand. For a day in the park. chop some wood and build a one-match fire. Whisper sweet things in your ear as we suck back a light beer. Splendor in the crab grass, just to have you here for a day in the park with you, my dear. When evening comes, we'll sail into the sun. Well, there's no need to speak. We'll come back again next week for a day in the park. Day in the park with you, my dear. Just one day in the park. For a day in the park. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. That's good.
Thank you.
Very nice. What park was that,
It was
Brian?
actually Boyd Park.
Where's that one?
That is a conservation center. That's right.
Oh,
that's where I have my escapes.
Where's that? Like,
It's at north of Toronto.
Northwest? Is it like
it's at you
north
go up
of
the
Brampton?
404 to Stouffville Side Road.
okay. Don't know that one.
Brian, do you perform in the festivals as well?
I do.
Yeah.
I try and stay in the background, but I do perform.
Yeah. And of course, the whole thing is an exercise of love, but has it managed to earn you any income? Just curious.
That's a
Sponsors
sticky
or-
point. I would say no. I would say looking back over 8 years, you'd really have to be sort of nuts to do this. If you view it as an income source, it doesn't work. I'd love for my time to be paid, but it just doesn't happen. We are a registered nonprofit organization, so 80% of the money we generate goes to the artists. This year we have over 100 artists and everybody's getting paid.
Wow. Oh, that's
Really?
amazing.
And it's also a free festival. We don't charge at the door.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, it must be.
So-
How do we do that,
Yeah,
right?
how do you
Yeah,
do it
is
from
the
here?
income generated through sponsorships then?
We're fueled by volunteers, very dedicated people, and we basically spend the whole year on fundraising activities. And this year, I'm happy to say we did qualify for some grants from, thank you, Canada Heritage, Toronto Arts Council, SOCAN Society. Once you've been around for a while and you're a nonprofit organization, some of these granting agencies learn about you and they're receptive to the applications.
And you've kind of proved yourself. You got a bit of a track record there.
Because we've been here like 8 years now, so they know we're just not in it for 1 year, 2 years. And it's
Now,
like,
you only got 3 years left, Brian.
and then what happens?
Then the
2012?
Ascension 2012
I never
happens.
bought that. I don't buy that.
No?
No.
Okay.
I don't see it. I see other things, but I don't see that.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen? What do you see?
I don't know. The year 2034 keeps popping up
20
in my mind. That
Really?
keeps popping up in my mind. Yeah.
2034?
Yeah.
Are you psychic or something?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. I don't know.
Okay.
That's what comes to my mind.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I've actually watched some of those Nostradamus things.
Yeah.
And I think there's an element, of I don't know, truth, honesty to it. But I don't think you can pin down a year. I don't think the universe works in that manner.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that a lot of what was written was meant to be to be on a certain day at a certain, even the Mayan calendar, I think there's a range there. And a lot of it has to do with astrological alignments, as far as I know, which actually can be calculated and observed in the sky.
It can be
But-
calculated, and I don't think the universe unfolds in that manner where you can assign a date to it. I think there's just too many other factors involved.
Interesting.
We,
Okay.
we digress, or maybe we don't.
Yeah. Can we hear one more song?
Sure.
I think it's great that that festival is free for attendees. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We try to make it a win-win-win-win situation.
Yeah.
Win for the artists. It's a very slow time of year. We find paid work for the artists. Win for the community because we bring roots music right to downtown Toronto. It's a win for the merchants on the street because we bring quite a few thousand people on the street who spend money, and it's a win for the art form because I'm just always fascinated. What goes on behind the scenes, which artists meet which artists, and who says, hey, let's jam, and they're touring together, all these, artistic connections that I call it the informal organization that you can't plan, all this chemistry that just happens. And speaking of chemistry that just happens, I'm going to play an instrumental tune, and this is something I actually wrote a few sets of lyrics to, and nothing worked. So that was, I guess, the
sign.
That was a sign that it should have been an instrumental tune, and I named this after the most powerful force in the galaxy, this galaxy. So I'll tell you after the song.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Of course, the title of the tune is estrogen.
I was trying to see what that was about, and I thought, well, it's very lyrical, beautiful, uplifting, delicate dancing, and I came up with love and light kind of thing, light dancing, like estrogen.
That's
huh?
an interesting interpretation.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. Right?
Estrogen.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, Brian. Do you want to just give us a quick rundown of what people can expect, when and where for the Winterfolk?
Absolutely. It's February 12th to 15th. It's 4 days. We have over 100 artists on 6 stages at the corners of Danforth and Broadview. It's a family-oriented event. We have a lot of family programming, and we're actually going, this year we're extending it to a 4th day, which is going on to Family Day, which is Monday,
perfect.
February the 15th. The website is winterfolk.com, and everything they need to know is there. So looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Beautiful. Winterfolk.com. That's so easy.
It's
Yes.
We don't even have to spell that for people.
Right.
Yes, excellent.
So great, Brian. Thanks for coming in today and
Thank
doing
you so much.
2 great songs, and a real pleasure to
My pleasure.
kind of actually meet you and after all these years, and just thank you for doing this.
Thanks so much.
And congratulations on the success of the festival.
Yeah, and all the
thus
best
far.
this
Knock
year.
on wood. Thank you so much.